Eat 2 cloves a day to prevent a stroke and heart attack. A doctor explains how. This video will reveal a simple yet astonishing truth. With just 2 cloves per day, you can help your body fight stroke risk while naturally supporting brain and vascular health. No expensive pills, no high-tech therapies. Just a small spice that has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, and now modern science is confirming its power. Cloves contain potent antioxidant compounds, especially eugenol, which has been shown to reduce inflammation in blood vessels, support healthy circulation, and even protect brain cells from aging and damage caused by ischemia, or restricted blood flow. In the next few minutes, I'll share with you 3 simple and effective ways to use cloves, from soaking and brewing them into tea to adding them to your meals, so you can get the full benefit without hassle or side effects. But first, let's start with the most remarkable benefit of all, the reason why researchers at major medical centers around the world are now paying serious attention to this tiny herb. It's a benefit that may change the way you think about cloves, not just as a kitchen spice, but as a key part of your natural strategy to prevent stroke and protect your memory in a safe, proactive, and effective way. Inside cloves, there is an active compound called eugenol. This compound possesses 2 properties that are extremely important for the brain: powerful antioxidant capabilities and an anti-inflammatory effect. Our brain is particularly vulnerable. Because it consumes a large amount of energy, it creates many unstable byproducts. Eugenol acts as a guardian, fighting against 2 of the biggest microscopic threats to brain cells: oxidative stress and neuroinflammation. First, let's talk about oxidative stress. It is the process of cell damage caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. These free radicals are created naturally during the body's daily activities, but when their numbers become overwhelming, they can harm critical components of our cells, including cell membranes, proteins, and DNA.
For the brain, this damage is especially dangerous. It can lead to the weakening and death of nerve cells, contributing to cognitive decline and increasing vulnerability to events like a stroke. Eugenol works by finding and neutralizing these free radicals before they can cause damage. By reducing the burden of oxidative stress in the brain, eugenol helps maintain a healthier environment, supporting the survival and function of nerve cells. Cloves also help soothe neuroinflammation. Neuroinflammation is inflammation that occurs inside the brain. Unlike the swelling from an injury, this inflammation is often low-grade but chronic. This chronic inflammation is now recognized as a significant risk factor for both neurodegenerative diseases and stroke. It can damage the small blood vessels in the brain and directly harm surrounding nerve cells. The eugenol in cloves protects the integrity of the brain's blood vessels and reduces stress on nerve cells. A less inflamed brain is a healthier, more resilient brain. But protecting the brain cells is only half the battle. These cells are completely dependent on a continuous, uninterrupted supply of oxygen and nutrients through a vast network of blood vessels. What happens if this critical supply system is compromised? You have a stroke, because a stroke, in essence, is a vascular event that occurs in the brain. Now let's see how the next benefit of cloves addresses this very problem. Picture the process this way. The inner walls of healthy arteries are very smooth. However, due to factors like high blood pressure or other harmful substances, this delicate lining can become damaged. The body responds to this damage by triggering inflammation. This inflammation, in turn, attracts other cells, including cholesterol, to the site of the injury. Over time, they build up, forming a hard plaque. This plaque can narrow the artery, restricting blood flow. Even more dangerous, if it ruptures, the body forms a blood clot at the spot. If this clot is large enough to block blood flow to the brain, it causes a stroke. This is where the anti-inflammatory properties of eugenol in cloves come into play on a body-wide scale.
By helping to lower the overall level of inflammation in your body, cloves can help reduce one of the initial triggers for this plaque formation, ensuring nerve cells get the oxygen and nutrients they need to survive. So, what is one of the leading causes of this initial inflammation and damage to the artery walls? For millions, the answer is high and uncontrolled blood sugar. But did you know that cloves might help you reduce this risk? Let me explain. One of the main culprits behind inflammation and artery wall damage is high blood sugar. In fact, people with type 2 diabetes are at least twice as likely to have a stroke as those without it. When blood sugar levels are chronically high, the excess glucose causes chemical damage. It harms the delicate inner lining of blood vessels, from the largest arteries to the tiniest capillaries in the brain. This process creates the exact kind of inflammation and hardening that sets the stage for artery-clogging plaques to form. This is another area where the compounds found in cloves may offer valuable support. Studies have pointed to two potential mechanisms: improving insulin sensitivity. Research suggests that components in cloves can help improve insulin sensitivity. This means they may help your body's cells respond more effectively to insulin, the hormone responsible for moving sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells for energy. Better insulin sensitivity leads to better overall blood sugar control, slowing glucose release. Furthermore, cloves may help regulate the blood sugar spikes that often happen after a meal. They appear to do this by inhibiting certain enzymes in the digestive tract that are responsible for breaking down carbohydrates into simple sugars. By slowing this process, the release of sugar into the bloodstream is more gradual, putting less stress on your body's insulin response. It is critically important to understand that this is a supportive, risk-reducing function. Cloves are not a treatment for diabetes and cannot replace medication or dietary guidance provided by your doctor or nutritionist. However, when incorporated as part of a balanced, low-glycemic diet, they can be a helpful tool in a broader strategy to maintain stable blood sugar levels.
Beyond the benefits above, you need to know these 8 additional benefits of cloves for your overall health. Promotes oral health. Oral health is closely linked to stroke risk. Chewing on a clove bud or using products containing cloves can help reduce toothache, decrease harmful bacteria, and keep your gums healthier. Supports pain relief and arthritis management. While not a cure, incorporating cloves into your diet can be part of an overall anti-inflammatory strategy for managing arthritis symptoms. Boosts bone density. Cloves are an incredibly rich source of the mineral manganese, which can contribute to maintaining a strong skeleton and reducing the risk of fractures. Aids the immune system. Cloves are rich in vitamin C, a crucial nutrient that helps stimulate the production of white blood cells. Combined with the antibacterial and antiviral properties of eugenol, cloves can help strengthen the body's defenses against common illnesses like colds and the flu. Improves the digestive system. Poor digestion can affect every aspect of your health. Cloves help stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, reducing bloating and indigestion. Their antibacterial properties also help maintain a healthy balance in the gut microbiome. Enhances sleep quality. Poor sleep is directly linked to high blood pressure and other cardiovascular risks. Cloves contain compounds that have a calming effect on the nervous system. A warm cup of clove tea before bed can help you relax, reduce stress, and promote a deeper, more restorative sleep. They are also a source of magnesium, an important mineral for muscle and nerve relaxation. Supports liver function. The compounds in cloves, especially eugenol, have been shown to help protect the liver from damage and support its overall function. Aids respiratory health. Cloves have expectorant properties, which means they can help loosen mucus in your airways, making it easier for you to breathe. Next, I will give you the 3 simplest and most effective ways to use cloves. You do not need to consume a large amount of cloves to reap the benefits. Their flavor is very strong, and their compounds are very concentrated. A small, consistent amount is much better than a large amount infrequently. The goal is 1 to 3 clove buds per day.
The simplest way. Just add 1 or 2 whole cloves to your dishes during the cooking process. For example, stews and soups. Drop a clove bud into your pot of soup or stew. It will slowly release its flavor and compounds into the dish. Just remember to remove it before serving. Cooking rice. Stud a small onion with a clove and add it to the pot while cooking your rice. Your rice will have a subtle aromatic fragrance. Or you can buy pre-ground cloves or grind a small amount yourself at home for the freshest flavor. Sprinkle a very small pinch, less than 1/8 of a teaspoon, into your bowl of oatmeal along with cinnamon. A similar small amount can also be added to your morning smoothie. A tiny pinch in your coffee grounds or tea bag can add a warm layer of flavor. Finally, clove tea. This is a wonderfully relaxing way to end your day. You can place 2 to 3 whole clove buds in a mug. Pour boiling water over them. Cover and let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes. Remove the clove buds and enjoy. You can add a slice of lemon or a little honey if you wish. While cloves offer many potential health benefits, it is important to note that results may vary for each individual. This video is for informational purposes only and should not replace professional medical advice. Please consult with your healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or lifestyle. Continue watching our videos about early stroke warning signs and how to prevent them on our channel.